We go now to Washington, and the Trump administration's beginning mass layoffs of federal workers impacting multiple agencies.
Now on the US, rising prices are affecting consumers who are far from ecstatic. The egg prices have soared 15% in the latest US inflation.
Tens of thousands of employees are expected to lose their jobs.
President-elect Trump is vowing to impose 100% tariffs on BRICS nations unless they commit to not developing a new currency. Trump made the declaration in a Truth Social post Saturday, saying, quote, "There is no chance that the BRICS will replace the U.S. dollar in international trade, and any country that tries should wave goodbye to America." Countries with emerging economies. They initially included Russia, China, India, Brazil, and South Africa.
New warning that nearly 50 million more people could face famine across the world amid a global food crisis. The World Food Program.
This isn't a warning. This isn't a prediction. This is happening right now. The dollar is collapsing. War is draining America's last reserves. China and Russia are making their move. And Trump? He's launching an economic war on the world. Tariffs, sanctions, trade restrictions. But it's not enough. Because America isn't just falling, it's imploding. This is how an empire dies. For decades, America was untouchable. The dollar was the world's currency. The military dominated every battlefield. The economy was unstoppable. But behind the scenes, the system was rotting. Corruption, greed, and overconfidence spread like a virus. The government printed money like it was infinite. The national debt climbed past $34 trillion. And the people? They were distracted. Reality TV, social media outrage, political circus, anything to keep them blind to what was coming. An economy this fragile doesn't collapse overnight. It's death by 1,000 cuts. The first warning signs came in 2008. A financial crisis wiped out millions of people's savings, but Wall Street got bailed out. The message was clear. If you're rich, the system protects you. If you're not, you're on your own. Then COVID hit. The government printed trillions, handing it to corporations while the middle class drowned. Inflation exploded. Housing became impossible to afford. Banks collapsed. The Fed panicked. But every move just made things worse. Americans weren't just divided, they were at war with each other. Left versus right, rich versus poor. The government fueled the chaos because a divided nation is easier to control. And then Trump returns. His solution? A global economic war. Massive tariffs on China, higher taxes on European goods, economic sanctions on Russia. America first. But at what cost? Because this time, the world isn't playing along. China already controls manufacturing. Russia has energy. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are creating their own financial system, cutting America out. And when the world doesn't need the US dollar anymore, the game is over. America thought it could bully the world into submission. But what happens when the world fights back? Meanwhile, the war in Ukraine has no end in sight. Billions of dollars in military aid are flowing out, but America isn't winning. Russia isn't backing down. And NATO, it's stretched to its limits. The US is losing its grip. And then Taiwan happens. For years, China has been watching, waiting. Now, with America distracted and weakened, they make their move. Invasion fleets surround Taiwan. Washington issues threats, but behind closed doors, officials know the truth. The US military is overstretched. It can't fight another war. But backing down, that means the final nail in the coffin of American dominance. At home, the cost of living is unbearable. Crime is exploding. Cities are crumbling. The government is out of options. The empire isn't just falling, it's in free fall. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And right now, America is following the same script as every fallen empire before it. The Roman Empire thought it was invincible. Its military controlled the known world. Its economy was the strongest on earth. But then, the cracks formed. Corruption, political infighting, inflation, overexpansion. The empire became too big, too divided, and too arrogant to fix itself. And when the end came, it wasn't an enemy that finished
British
Rome
Empire
off. It was its own weakness. The British Empire suffered the same fate. It ruled over 1/4 of the planet. The sun never set on British soil until it did. Wars drained its resources. Debt crippled its economy. And one by one, its colonies walked away. The Soviet Union, same story. A global superpower with a vast military and nuclear weapons. But its economy, broken, its people, starving, and in the end, it collapsed overnight. And now, America is walking the same path. Too divided, too broke, too corrupt. And just like Rome, Britain, the USSR, no one believes it can actually fall until it does. But here's the question no one is asking. If America collapses, who benefits? Because while the middle class crumbles, the ultra-rich are getting richer, and not by accident. The financial elite saw this coming years ago. While you're struggling to afford food and gas, they're buying up land, securing assets, and moving their money offshore. They know what's coming because they planned it. The media tells you it's just inflation, a temporary recession. They keep you distracted with culture wars and celebrity scandals, so you don't see what's really happening. The Federal Reserve keeps raising interest rates. The government keeps printing money. The debt keeps rising. And the people in charge, they know exactly what they're doing. Because when the collapse happens, they won't be the ones suffering. While America collapses, a new world order is rising. The BRICS alliance is already building an alternative global economy, one that doesn't rely on the US dollar. For decades, America used the dollar as a weapon. Sanctions, trade wars, financial dominance. But what happens when the world doesn't need the dollar anymore? This isn't just about losing global influence. This is about survival. Because when the dollar dies, America dies with it. Empires don't die quietly. They collapse from the inside. Crime is exploding. Cities are turning into war zones. People are desperate. And desperate people do desperate things. And when trust in the government collapses, the real chaos begins. The elites will have their escape plans. But the average American, they'll be left to fend for themselves. The collapse of America isn't the end of the world. It's the end of your world. The one you thought you knew. Because what comes next? It won't be the America you grew up in. It won't be about freedom, democracy, or the Constitution. It will be something else entirely. A new global power structure is being built, and America is not at the top of it. This isn't just economic collapse, it's systematic replacement. Look around, the signs are everywhere. Social credit systems already being tested. Biometric tracking, AI-powered governance. No appeals, no debate, just automated enforcement. And here's the part no one wants to admit. When the dust settles, there won't be a return to the old way of life. The America that once existed, flawed but free, is gone. Rome, Britain, the USSR, America. The cycle never changes. The signs are everywhere. But most people won't see it until it's too late. You've been warned. A nation doesn't collapse overnight. It happens in phases, slowly, then all at once. They'll tell you everything is fine until it's not. First, it's inflation. Then, it's supply chain failures. Then, A full-scale financial freeze. Your money is just numbers on a screen. And when the system crashes, those numbers disappear. And what's their solution? A new system. One where every transaction is monitored, controlled, and, if necessary, cancelled. The future won't be paper money. It won't even be bank accounts. It will be programmable currency. Obey or be locked out of society. For years, they tested it overseas. Now it's coming home. It starts with security, then it becomes control. They told you it was temporary. They lied. A future where the government doesn't just control your money, but decides how you can use it. Spending limits, purchase restrictions, and if you speak out, financial blacklisting. No bank account, no job, no escape. Every empire reaches a point of no return, and when it does, the rules change. Fear is the most powerful weapon they have, and right now, they're using it against you. Every crisis is an opportunity, and the ones in power, they never let a good crisis go to waste. War, economic collapse, a new digital system of control. It's all happening at the same time. And most people still don't see it. Rome, Britain, the USSR, America. The signs are everywhere, but most won't see them until it's too late. You've been warned. This is just the beginning. There's more they don't want you to know. Subscribe now, before it's too late.